Now the moment we've all been waiting for.
I am Nate Riggle, and you are listening to The Way of the Bonfire. All right, welcome to the podcast where we focus on bringing the world and the good people in it together in the most meaningful and lasting ways possible, so that good, hardworking people can stop waiting to make the most of their lives. It's easy to get patience confused with procrastination. Maybe we pat ourselves on the back and say, I've been doing good. I'm making all this progress in my business, in my family, in my health over the last several years. I've built all this kind of nest egg up in my bank account. And we are like, all right, I keep getting to the next level. It's good. We're going where we need to go. And we say to ourselves, it's getting a little harder because the growth has created new responsibilities. And there's a little more on my back now. But as soon as I get to this one point, then I can start focusing again on what matters to me. As soon as I have enough money, as soon as I'm healthier, as soon as I feel more rested. And those are all good things. That's the stupid, tricky part about the whole thing. And I want to share a story that'll give you a little bit imagery, because I think it'll explain what I'm talking about a little bit better. So I am obsessed with fishing. I love getting out on the water. And one time I was out on my paddle boat, and I was in this river, and I was on the edge of the river, and the water's kind of calm there. So I'm paddling up the river, and it looks pretty flat all the way across. And I'm like, cool, it looks deeper out there. I bet there's better fish. Right. So I'm like, I got this. And I'm paddling upstream against the current. It's flat, it's not too crazy. And I start paddling out into the middle. And I'm like, oh, seems like it's getting a little harder to keep going where I'm trying to go up here to this other kind of exciting section of the river that I want to be in. And I feel like maybe I'm paddling a little bit harder, but at least I'm still moving forward, right? And then I get out I'm starting to get really close to that spot. And I'm like, good grief, I'm starting to get exhausted here paddling against this current. But I'll get up there, and then I'll be able to maybe just like anchor off on a rock or something, and I'll be able to fish, and then I can keep moving upstream and get into the spots that I want to get to. And I get in the middle, and I'm just paddling like my life depends on it. And I'm getting after it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to push into a new gear here. And I bet I got more power. I could go faster and harder. But then something happens. I'm like, I think I might be going backwards. I'm not just paddling in place, which I was for a while. And now with every stroke, I'm going a little bit further backwards. And I'm like, daggone. And I start drifting downstream, and I'm like, I paddle my way all the way up to where I was, back to that same spot, and I'm paddling in place, and I'm really just getting after it. But I'm like kind of feeling a little bit hopeless, like I can't get up to that spot. I'm like, the current just keeps getting stronger here. Like this is a lost cause. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to make it. I guess I'll just have to settle for wherever this current's going to push me. And then I noticed that the wind was kind of picking up a little bit. And the good thing was it was blowing the opposite direction, like against the current, but it wasn't quite strong enough to help me too much. So I paddled over by this rock, and because I know that the wind rushes around the rocks faster, and it kind of picks up pressure there. And so I figured out that if I paddled at this one spot on the river, even if I had to paddle backwards a little bit to get there, it would create this low pressure zone and allow me to move up further, even though the current was way faster there. And so instead of just trying to paddle my heart out and work harder, I know you're thinking, oh, he worked smarter. No, I still had to work harder. But I found a way to harness the wind. And this is like a crazy metaphor for what I'm talking about in our lives. We think that no matter what we do, as long as we just keep working harder, as long as we keep at it, then we can get to the spot that we enjoy and not just feeling like this is what we have to do right now. And yeah, there's times when you have to do certain things. But if that becomes the norm and you feel like your life is just a life of sacrifice for somebody else, you're probably doing that unnecessarily. Meaning, you can harness the wind by coming together with the people around you and not thinking that it's all just on you to paddle all the way up that stream in the middle, and actually just consciously making a decision to create a better reality for yourself. You don't get to shape reality 100%, but you get to affect it, right? That stream's still going to be there. It's the current is going to be all the different things that are coming at you in your life. You're not going to just make those disappear. But if you can go from thinking, I just need to learn more, I just need to get more information, or as soon as I get to this point of this promotion in my job or in my life or my work, then I'll start enjoying this job that I hate. Or my marriage will get better if I make more money. That's paddling in the middle of the stream with no wind on your back. You can stop right now and make the decision that you're going to create a different reality. Like me just speaking into this microphone, I'm taking the thoughts that have been in my head and I'm putting them out there into the world. They're not just locked up in darkness anymore. They're not mine. They exist in the world if you're hearing them. It became a new piece of reality. I pushed wind and current in a different direction than existed. So what I'm saying is you create your new reality by bringing new things into existence, by converting the best of who you are into something that exists in the world. And if you want to get healthier, but you feel like you don't have time for that because everyone else is putting all these different demands on you and you're coming up with all these reasons why, and you've been doing that for years and you keep telling yourself, well, maybe once the kids are out of the house, or maybe once my kids are at school, or once I'm in management, yeah, then I'll be able to have more time. Telling you the current gets faster. It always gets faster. You can go and create your own reality by saying, you know what? I'm not going to wait to make the most of this. I'm going to create space in my life. I'm not going to paddle out into the middle of the river and scroll all day on my phone because I feel like crap, or I just need to get my head right by doing this dumb thing. You can take that spot and say, I'm not going to go and run a marathon, but I am going to go and do 5 squats in front of the mirror. You just created a new reality in your body and a new momentum. The wind's starting to pick up. Focus on doing that, on producing something that exists by what you do. You do have time and you do have the ability. You are not beholden to the current of your life. You're not a victim of it. And you're not a martyr that has to just paddle, 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 paddle and hope that people appreciate you one day. You get to choose. You just have to make the world a little different somehow in a good way. You can't keep doing what you're doing and expect that it will get better just with time. It won't. The current only gets stronger. Call that person you've been meaning to call. You have a thought that I wish that I had a better relationship with this person. I wish I had better connections. Don't try to be the most connected in the world person in the world by the end of the month. Just create new realities that make you more connected. Reach out to people. Say hi, make a connection. And even if you like that flat water that I was paddling on, even if it looks like the current's not shifting, I promise the wind and the current and momentum is changing directions, even if you can't see it. Go get them. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast today. I hope it had impact and meaning, but I really would like it if you work more on becoming that bonfire in your life for yourself and for other people, and start really going after that growth and that change that you've been waiting for. I promise I can help you get started on that at changewithnate.com, or you can go to the business website and we'll teach you how to grow in ways that really compound. That's at wayfirelabs.com. Either way, I hope to hear from you soon. Get on the calendar and we'll see you on the next one.